So guys, I think you already know inside generative AI, we use something called large language model, that means LLMs. So LLMs actually have some limitation. You can see the first limitation it is having. So the first limitation you can see, LLM can't answer correctly to the private data. Let's see if we're having any kinds of private data. So that large language model won't be able to give you the answer related that. So if I give you one example, let's say you are having one personal website. Let's say I have one website called Code Commander. Okay, so Code Commander is my website. Now, if you open up your ChatGPT and if you ask related Code Commander, your ChatGPT won't be able to give the answer because ChatGPT trained with older data. That means I think ChatGPT trained around 2021 to 2022 data. Okay, around this year actually they trained this model. After that, actually I created this channel. Okay, so this data is not available inside my ChatGPT knowledge base. That means that time actually this data was not available in the internet. Okay, so you can consider it's a private data. Or you can consider any kinds of private data, your private, let's say website data, private, let's say your company data, anything. So if you ask any question related to the private data, your model won't be giving you any kinds of response to that, right? Then you can see the second limitation, LLM can't provide the most current information. Let's say if you're asking any question which is like more current, okay, more current, let's say information, your model won't be giving you the answer. Let's say if you ask the question related this Olympic, okay, the current Olympic, it won't be able to give the answer because it hasn't trained with the current information. Okay, so these are the actually limitation we're having with the LLMs. But I want to create an application. That application will be also able to give the answer related to the private data as well as the current information. So how it can be performed? Okay, we can do it with the help of RAG concept, that means Retrieval Augmented Generation. Now let's see how RAG works. So guys, here you can see RAG allows LLMs to use external sources for the better response. That means let's see if you're having any private data, let's say any external documents. So what you can do, you can give that documents to the large language model. How? For this, you just need to use one embedding model. You just need to use one embedding model. With the help of this embedding model, you'll just try to generate the vector embedding of the data. The data actually will be giving. And this vector embedding you will be storing to the knowledge base. That means to the vector database. Okay. I think we have already learned this thing previously. Previously, we already implemented this kinds of application. But I think you didn't know. Okay, this is a RAG application. I just given some high level overview, like how we can, let's say, use our external documents. I think we already created some of the project, right? So yes, this is called actually RAG. That means we are using our external documents. We are creating our knowledge base, and to the knowledge base, actually, we are integrating our large language model. Okay. Now, whenever user is asking any kinds of question, okay, whenever user is asking any kind of question to the private data, what it will do, it will go to the knowledge base. Okay, it will go to the knowledge base. Knowledge base will give the response, okay, the question you are asking, the relevant question you are asking, and your LLM will process that answer as well as the query, and it will give you the correct response. Okay, so this is the complete architecture of RAG. That means Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, so with the help of this concept, actually, we can easily use our private data sources or let's say external documents to get the information. Okay, I hope it is clear. That means if you are using RAG concept, it would be more accurate answer on the private data. Stay updated with the new information. Let's say if you're having new information, new data, what you can do, again, you can give that data to the knowledge base. That means you can use embedding model. You can convert those data to the embedding representation. You can store to the knowledge base and you can connect your large language model there. And if you're asking any question related that information, it will give you the answer. Okay, your model will give you the answer. So this is the concept of Retrieval Augmented Generation or RAG. So guys, now let's try to see how RAG works. So as I already told you, whenever you are using RAG, that means you are connecting your external data. That means your private data. Let's say you have connected your private data. Let's say you have connected your website. Okay, you have connected your website. That means from the website itself, it will extract all the information. Let's say you are running one e-commerce site. So user has asked one question, what are your business hours? Okay, now how it will give the response by using your information. So first of all, what it will do, it will try to use something called retriever. So with the help of retriever, it will try to fetch all the information from your website. Okay, all the information it will fetch from the website itself. Then it will perform something called augmentation. So what augmentation will do, it will just try to augment the query. That means whatever question user has asked, okay, and the data actually you are getting after retriever, so it would be actually augmented. That means it will add them together. Okay, let's say the query as well as the data. Then it will pass to the generation. That means to the large language model. Large language model will try to understand the entire data as well as the query user has asked. Okay, and based on that, actually it will provide the answer. So the answer is Monday to Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Okay, so that's how actually RAG works. That means it will use actually three components. One is like retrieval, another is like augmentation, and this is like generation. Okay, that is why it is called Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, I hope it is clear now. So guys, this was the introduction of the RAG. And I think you got it, how RAG works and all, and why RAG is important. Now let's try to see one practical example of RAG. So guys, here you can see I already prepared one code example of the RAG demo. So first of all, we'll try to understand this Jupyter notebook file. Then I will also show you how we can create a user application, that means app, let's say Streamlit app, how we can create it. Okay, so for this, what you have to do, guys, first of all, you have to install, these are the requirements, and this code would be shared, guys, in the resources section. From there you can download. And I already told you how to create a virtual environment. So to create the virtual environment, you have to execute this command. So conda create -n. You have to give the name. Let's say here I have given OpenAI demo. You can give any kinds of name. Let's say I will give test, then Python is equal to 3.10. Okay, 3.10, then -y. So this is the command you have to execute, and make sure you are using Python 3.10. Okay, so for me, I already created. I'm not going to create again. Then after that, you have to activate it. That means conda activate your environment name. Okay, then you have to install this requirements. Just write pip install. Okay, -r requirement.txt. Fine. Now if I see, press enter, it will install all the requirements I'm having in the requirements file. You can see inside requirements file, I'm installing LangChain community, LangChain OpenAI, python.env, Streamlit. Okay, so these are the actually dependency package you have to install one by one. So for me, I already installed each and everything, you can see. Then after that, just open this notebook, RAG demo notebook, and try to select the environment. So let's say I have created this environment, OpenAI demo, I'll select it. Now see, now if I execute the first line, see, it is working fine. There is no error. Okay, that means it is working fine. So guys, in this experiment, I'm going to use one website. Okay, that means as a private data, as a, let's say, external data, we'll be using website. So from the website itself, we'll be collecting the data. On top of that, actually, we'll be implementing this RAG application. So you can see this is the website URL. Now let me open this URL. So this is the URL of the website. So this is the entire website, guys. You can see. So they have given different information. So now I just collected some of the more page. Let me show you. So this is another page. This is the index page, and this is the contact page. Okay, now let me open them. See, this is the index page, this is the contact page. So you can see, guys, this is the index one and this is the contact one. Okay, so that's how actually you can use any kinds of website. I'm using this website. For you, you can use your, let's say, personal website. You can use your, let's say, private website, your official website, anything you can use. Even I will also show you how we can use any other format. Let's say how we can use PDF documents. Okay, these are the things I will also tell you. So this is the website data actually I'll be using. Now to load this website, I'll be using something called unstructured URL loader, and this is available inside LangChain. Okay, you can see I'm importing this unstructured URL loader. Now this is the URL list. So if you're having multiple URL, you can create a list, and this list you can pass to this function, and this function will give you one loader object. Now we can call loader.load, and it will extract the data. Let me show you. So if I execute this line, now see, it is extracting all the information from the website itself. So extraction is done. Now if I show you the data, now you can see it has extracted all the information. Now why 3 documents is coming? Because here I was using 3 URL. Okay, 3 different actually pages. Okay, that's why it is coming 3 documents. Okay, now what I have to do, guys, I think you remember we have to perform something called chunking operation. So for this we can use recursive character text splitter. Either we can use character text splitter, either you can also use token text splitter. Okay, so here I'm using recursive character text splitter. So here chunk size is equal to, I have given 1000. That means 1000 word would be considered as my 1 chunks. So let me create the chunks and let me show you the chunk size. Okay, you can see 11 chunks it has created. Okay, now if you want to see the first one, so you can see this is the first chunks and this is the URL it is referring. Now I think you remember, after extracting your data, that means documents, you have to use one embedding model and you have to generate vector embedding, and that vector embedding will be stored into the vector database. Okay, any kinds of vector database you can use. So I have already showed you like multiple vector database, like we can use ChromaDB, Pinecone, Web8. Okay, Files, you can use any of the vector database. So here I'm going to use something called ChromaDB vector database. Okay, ChromaDB is a local vector database. Fine. So guys, you can see I'm importing Chroma from the LangChain itself, because inside LangChain this ChromaDB is available. Then I'm importing one embedding model. So here I'm using OpenAI embedding model. Okay, OpenAI embedding model. You can also use any open source embedding model. I'll also tell you okay how we can do it. Then I'm also importing OpenAI. That means I'm going to use OpenAI large language model. So let me import all of the package. And now if I want to use OpenAI, what I have to do, I have to set my environment. Okay, environment variable. So OpenAI API key, you have to pass your API key. So just try to create one API key and try to pass here. Then let's load this API key with the help of load env package. Then after that, I'm going to initialize my ChromaDB vector database. Okay, so you can see I'm going to pass my documents here, the documents I'm getting. Even I'm also passing my embedding model. So it will give me the vector store, entire vector store. That means this is going to be my knowledge base. Okay, see, this is my knowledge base right now. Now here you can perform something called semantic search operation. Okay, similarity search operation. So let me show you one example. So vector store as retriever. I want to perform similarity search operation. Search keywords, that means how many, let's say, result it will return. So here I've given 3. That means after searching, it will give me 3 relevant answer. Okay, let me show you. So let me create the retriever object. Now here I'm asking one question, what kinds of service they provide. Okay, this website, let's say I'm asking one question. Now if I perform the invoke operation, see, it will give you 3 results. Okay, 3 results actually it will give you. So let me show you. See, it has given you 3 relevant information, and from where it is referring, it has also given the URL, and you can see the 3 relevant information. But what I need the actual response. Okay, this question I have asked what kinds of service they provide. I need the actual response. I don't need this kinds of response. Okay, for this what I have to do, I have to connect my large language model. I think you remember. So here I have to connect my large language model. Okay, then user will ask the query. So it will process the query as well as the relevant, let's say, answer will be getting from the vector database. Then your LLM will give the actual response. Okay, so now let's try to see how we can perform it. Now, if you want to see the page content, okay, the, let's say, result you are getting, if you want to see the contents, what you can do, you can call this one page content. Okay, I want to see the first, let's say, answer page content. So this is the entire page content, you can see. Fine. Now here I'm initializing my large language model. I think you know what is temperature parameter, what is max token parameter. Now here you can see I have created one chain. Okay, create retrieval chain. So this will give me the chain object. That means I can connect my large language model as well as the vector database. Okay, then I'm also going to pass one prompt. Okay, system prompt, and for this I'm going to use prompt template. Okay, I think remember we can also create the prompt template. So this is the prompt I have created, guys. You can see you are an assistant for the question answering task. Use the following piece of retrieved context to answer the question. If you don't know the answer, say that you don't know, use 3 sentence maximum to keep the answer concise. You can also change the prompt, it's up to you, but I will use this prompt. Okay, it will take the context and it will give you the answer. Now for this I'm going to create a prompt template first of all. So here I've created the prompt template. This is going to be my system prompt, and user will give the input. Okay, whatever input actually user will ask, let's say this is the input user will ask. Okay, this input actually it will come here. Okay, and it will create the complete prompt that time. Now let me initialize the prompt. Now here I'm going to create a chain. So I'm using create stop document chain. So this is the function actually I'm using, because I already told you inside LangChain actually we are having different chains, right? Now here I'm passing my LLM as well as the prompt. Then again what you have to do, you have to call another function create retrieval chain. Okay, so inside that you have to give your vector database. Okay, the vector database you have created, that means your knowledge base, and you have to give this object, your question answer chain. Okay, this object actually you have to give. Now it will give you the entire RAG chain. Now here you can ask any kinds of questions. So here I am calling this RAG chain invoke, and this is the input, what kinds of service they provide, and I'm only extracting the answer. Now see, if I show you the answer right now, see, this should be the concise answer. That means the accurate answer actually it will try to provide. Now see, Victoria on Move provides efficient and careful relocation services for the apartment village householders. Okay, see, blah blah blah. That means it is giving me the correct information right now. Okay, so this is called actually RAG system. Now it is referring my private data, my external data. On top of that actually it is giving me the answer. And if you ask this question to the ChatGPT won't be able to give the answer, because ChatGPT hasn't trained with this data. Okay, I think you are getting my point. Now let's try to see how we can create a user app. Okay, so what I've done, I've created another file called app.py, and whatever code I have written, okay, cell by cell, I just copy pasted and I just created like that. In this particular dot file, you can see I've imported all the library. I'm loading my, let's say, secret keys, that means OpenAI API keys. Then I'm giving the URL, I'm extracting the data, I'm creating that means chunks. Okay, then I'm creating the vector store. I'm initializing my large language model. Then I'm using Streamlit. You can see ST. Then I'm initializing my prompt. So you can see this is the prompt. And now if user is asking any query, this query actually I'm passing here, and it is giving me the response. That response actually I'm showing on the Streamlit application. Okay, now let me execute and let me show you how this app will look like. So for this, you can execute one command called Streamlit run app.py. Okay, now see, if I execute the command, so it will open up my application. Now see, this is the title. I think you saw that st.title we have written here. See, RAG demo, and this title will show in the search bar. You can see this is the search bar, because here I'm taking chat input na. So you can see this is the chat input. Here it will show the message. Now you can change the message as per your requirement. Now let me ask one query. So I'll ask the same query. So I'll copy this query, and here I can ask. You can go to the website and you can ask any kinds of query. It's up to you. So guys, as you can see, it has given me the response. Victoria Move provides range of services including apartment moving, villa moving, okay, and so on. That means it is working fine right now. You can ask any kinds of question, guys. Any kinds of question you can ask, whatever actually information you are having in this website. Fine. So yes, guys, this is the RAG demo, and that's how we can create a RAG. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.